All right, we're going to start this meeting. This is the Committee of the Whole meeting. It is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. We're in City Hall Council Chambers, and it is 5:30. Next item on the agenda is the roll call. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Sorry, I'm all out of whack.
No, you're fine.
Mr. Andrew Kaler?
Here.
Mr. Michael Kaler?
Here.
Mr. Meyer?
Here.
Ms. Firmanek?
Here.
Mr. Rick?
Here.
Mr. Wikes, we don't know, and Ms. Rakowski?
Here.
Mayor Haas?
Present.
Okay, we got 7.
Okay. Next, we have general agenda items for consideration. We have placed the minutes of the January 28th meeting on file.
We forgot public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, public comment. Oh. Please state your name and address.
Kyle Gulke, 1504 Jackson Street, which is actually District 6, not District 5, but I still feel strongly enough about this to make a public comment. I guess first off, I don't really understand why this isn't necessarily like a special election or on a ballot. I guess I don't really agree with appointing people to elected positions. I think the voters of the 5th District should probably be the ones making this kind of a decision. And the main point, I don't really know much about either of the candidates, but from what I do know, one of the candidates has a pretty long history of being involved in partisan politics, and from what I understand is still currently involved with said politics. I guess in my opinion, it would be unwise to appoint that candidate. We don't really need the national level drama at the local level. There's enough already. And I guess closing statement would just be to remind, okay, regardless of the decision, whether I agree or not, I would just remind both candidates and current council that these positions are supposed to be nonpartisan. And that is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Any further public comment? Now we'll move on to general agenda items for consideration. We have placing the minutes of the January 28th meeting on file.
I'll make a motion to place the minutes on file.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to place the January 28th meeting minutes on file. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have candidate interviews and appointment of District 5 alderperson. Hunter, would you come up to the podium there? This is Hunter Lane, everybody. What I would ask, we have 7 questions here. Andrew Kaler, do you like to start with number 1, and then Gus, you want to do number 2 and just go down the line like that? And then I'll finish up with 7.
All right. What qualifications do you bring to the position?
For this, sorry, I have a loud voice, so I don't like going close to the microphone.
You're fine.
So if I do, it will be more louder than I like. But for the qualifications that I bring is that I have worked for the city for about 6.5 years with volunteer, and I've worked for the community for over 5 years, or almost 5 years in August. And with that, I have seen a lot of ups and downs with here, so I've understood the budgets, I have understand the people concerns, I've been on both sides of every scale, and now that I've seen that position open, I know that with the qualifications that I know right now, I believe I can bring a better guidance to our younger generation.
How do you feel you can contribute?
Well, at my current position at where I work with a lot of younger people from ages 15 to 35 and up. And I've seen people come in, and I always listen to them, you know, talk, have fun. And I understand what they go through and their ups and downs, their frustrations. And listening to all that, I feel like what I can do now, if I do get into the spot, or if, that's always the big issue, is if I get into it, I feel like I can bring more people here, more people to get out, you know, like for Crazy Days. A lot of the older generation, from Gen X to Gen X to boomers, were always excited for Crazy Days. Then when it stopped due to budget issues, they were upset. But they also didn't like the time that it always was at. Because Crazy Days back then always started on a Wednesday during the summer. Wednesdays isn't always the greatest day for the people in Merrill. They would rather have it like on a Saturday, kind of like what Truckapalooza is. It's better for them in the long run. And now that I hear them, I can get more people, the more youth to get out of their houses, the more youth to be exploring Merrill more. That is what I feel.
How long have you been in the community?
Well, I've been in this community my whole life, but with my parents' divorce, I've also been inside the Wausau's community and the Anagos community. So, but I have been here in this community my entire life. I've been to the school here, I have graduated here, and I've had a lot to see what Merrill has offered in my youth. And I want to bring that back to this community as well.
What would you say is your relevant work or volunteer experience as far as how it would relate to your position on the council?
Well, my current work is I work at our local Walmart. So I have seen many faces, not from here. I've seen people come from Green Bay. I have seen people come from Wausau, Anago, Rhinelander. Whenever Minocqua would have their camp, you know, the season opening for camp, I've seen people come all the way down from Milwaukee up here. And every time I've seen those people come in here, they always said everything is always nice. We are always friendly. We are always inviting. We are always welcome. Even in a small town, we always are willing to help. And that's what I am. I am a person that will be willing to give you the shirt off my back to help. And also for the volunteer work, I've helped out with media productions back in the day, or now Merrill Community Media. I have helped out, and I always filmed on my own time during the summer, during school work. Whenever I had the opportunity to come here and help, I would. But also, I also helped out in other communities as well. Out in Deerbrook, where the Moon Dance is, or Fud Fest, or MC Fest now. I don't know the people personally, but my stepdad does. And he always volunteers me to help, which I will do it. But I've been helping them out for 7 years. And I've seen everybody from all different communities. And I listen to what every community has there too. From Green Bay. I even had people from Arizona come up to see Jason Michael Carroll when he came up to MC Fest. It was amazing to see how many people from different communities come into one and have a blast, and just they don't get involved with their own little issues with politics. Yes, you have a little too much to drink. It's Wisconsin, what do you expect? But I've seen a lot of good in all the communities. And that's what I want to bring here. I want to bring all that good vibes, good attitude, good everything into this community. Because sometimes I've seen the worst. And in retail, you have seen the worst of people. And politics, you've seen the worst of people on either you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're neutral. You've seen the worst in everybody. And I'm not a person into politics. I really am not. I am a neutralist. I will listen to your sides, and I will not judge of who you're on, what side you vote for. I'll listen to what you want. And I'll be the voice of the reason.
What are your current or past elected positions?
So for my current elect position is I'm actually a safety member at Walmart, and how that works is that we are trying to eliminate as much, workplace and customer accidents, because every accident that we have takes out of our budget, and we're trying to get from. We just had a meeting this morning. We had a total of last year about 23 incidents, and every incident cost roughly around $25,000 each, just to get that they go to the hospital, and Walmart covers that. But with that being said, every time that gets covered, something has to go for us, and that's some products, that's a bonus, that's maybe a pay raise. So what we're trying to do is cut back on how many accidents we have, so that we can give back to the community of, hey, we can have a food truck here for one day and have people come here and shop and eat. Or we can have, hey, a pay raise for 1% for us, or just something to give back to the community. And for my past election, I was a vice president at my North Central Technical College in Wausau. I helped them out with our budgets. I tried to get the community there to expand, because when you're in the college, everybody is one community, but you have separate branches basically. So we helped out with the culinary, we helped out with shop, we helped out with mechanics. We even made a little commercial for YouTube. You can look it up on YouTube of North Central Technical College. I know some of the people there, and I wasn't there that day when they filmed it, but we were there discussing of, okay, how do we get more people to come to North Central Technical College? So we came up with a little 2 to 3 minute ad or video to say, you want to start your career? Start here. You can start here and you can finish wherever you want to. But if that you want to have a nice little area to start, come to this place. And it still plays regularly, and I don't even look for it. Granted, algorithm and all that, but it's nice to know that it's still out there and it still plays, and a lot more people have joined that college after I left.
Rebecca?
Why are you interested in the position at this time?
Well, I was actually interested way back when I was working for Merrill Community Media. I wanted to do that for the longest time, but I knew I wasn't ready. Because I actually wanted to join a committee back when Mayor Wallner was here. It was for the youth, how to get people here. But that fell flat on doorstep, which happens. He couldn't get enough people to start the committee. But when election time was up, I knew I wasn't ready because I didn't have the people skills to express myself and the knowledge to help other people understand. And when I went to work at Walmart, I knew I was not ready at that moment. And when the latest election came up, I was going to go, but I was for District 7 at the time. But as I did an interview process, I knew I wasn't there yet. So I waited until actually this election to try for a new position. But since this came up, I did a couple more interviews with my current work as I want to be a leader. So, because I know I have that in me, but now if I am doing better, and I know I've gotten a lot better from where I was back in 2019, 2018, I've gotten a lot better and proved to myself that I have overcome a lot of obstacles in myself. And since I've now overcome them, I'm helping other people overcome their obstacles. At my work, I help out everybody. I know every position at Walmart. Am I supposed to? No, but I do, because that's the person I am. If that you don't know what's going on, I will help you figure this out. If that you don't understand or don't like what's going on, talk to me. I'll tell you saying, yes, you're right, it's not supposed to be like this. But when push comes to shove, we need to get the job done.
Okay. What do you see as Merrill's greatest asset and biggest obstacles to overcome in order to promote further growth in our community?
So I actually have a couple of answers for this. My personal answer and the answer I actually asked my community. Because when I first got hold of the questionnaires, I actually went out in my district and I actually talked to a couple of people to understand and let them know, saying, hi, my name's Hunter, I'm actually running for 5th District, and a lot of them said, we didn't know that the person left. Like, okay. But for my answer is, it's for both, and that's the parks. We are the city of parks. And the thing that sucks is that we do not utilize the parks at all. We only use maybe 4 to 5 parks, and for like concerts, for gatherings, for festivals, for events. Right down on Riverside, there's a park sign there that's maybe not a full park, but that sign has been weathered and been damaged, and that sign has not been changed in over past 5 years. I believe, it's not odds, and I used to pass it every morning, but I cannot remember the name of the park right now, but that sign has holes from woodpeckers and bugs and sun deterioration. We have parks everywhere, but we don't utilize our parks. So what I believe that we can do is that if we're able to utilize more of the parks, like I said, for Crazy Days, is out on Main Street. There's a park called Steelers Square, right up by Taylor and Stein's funeral home. We can have even more vendors come there too. So if we have full, if the whole main drag is full and they still want to explore, we can have them go up to up Main Street to 3rd Street and go and see more vendors, what they offer too. And then as they walk, they can see more of the city as they go up the hill. Like, we have so many opportunities to get kids out here. The issue is that we don't promote a lot of stuff. I just found about Truckapalooza on one of the vendors they told us. Like, I don't see Merrill promoting a lot of stuff for the youth, and they just go by the word of people. And yes, you'll see it in the week before on the Merrill Photo News for the kids that are in school yet. I don't know, because I haven't been in the school for almost 5 years. But if we were able to promote it to the kids, say, hey, on May 2nd of 2025, Truckapalooza is going to be back at this place. So kids can also know it'll be here at that time, so they can come down there and explore. Then they can tell more people to have them come. Because I don't see a lot of advertisement for or even for the Easter Bunny on Lions Hill, if we even do that anymore. Because we used to do that when I was in high school. I don't know if that Lions Hill still does the Easter Bunny, Easter egg hunt and take pictures with the Easter Bunny. We have so many parks, but we barely use 5% of them. If we were able to use more parks and promote locations and get more people here, I think we can make Merrill grow even further. Because in the Mark, we have a swimming pool there that's barely open, and a lot of my coworkers tell me how frustrating that is. Because they want to go out there. They want to have fun with their kids on a hot summer day, but when the pool's not open, where else can you go to cool off? You have to go down to Weston, to their water center, or go down to, Weston, or go to John Muir's pool where they open up for the community. It's frustrating to some parents because they want to have fun with their kids and explore. And I believe that we can, utilize more. We'll be able to bring more people here from different communities as well. And more people that come here, we can actually grow our community as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Landis, would you like to come up to the, everybody, this is Landis Holdorf. Andrew, you want to start again?
What qualifications do you bring to the position?
Excuse me. So as was mentioned during the public comment period, I'm currently district director at the House of Representatives for the 7th Congressional District. In that role, I work with local municipalities, constituents within northern and western Wisconsin. Covers about 40% of the state. I work to bring, to intersect local communities, state government, and federal government. It's really not a partisan position. It's really just about helping the constituents of northern and western Wisconsin navigate different federal issues that they're having, such as the VA, IRS, the Social Security Administration. In my role, that's primarily what that I and the staff who I supervise are looking to work forward. The other portion of that is assisting with federal grants, state grants, any way that we can try to bring federal dollars that have been appropriated by the House of Representatives back to northern western Wisconsin. That is our main goal. Before I got involved in politics, I went to school at UW Stevens Point. I had a major in economics, and I had a minor in public administration and policy analysis. Shortly after then, I got my master's of business administration with emphasis in finance from the University of Wisconsin Parkside. So I have a deep knowledge when it comes to budgets and local government. Again, I mean, when I'm not at home with my family, I'm out on the road most of the time, working with cities like Hudson, Wausau, Superior, Cornell, and Chippewa County, which is a very small town similar to Merrill, and with counties. So, I mean, I have a very good base of knowledge on what local government looks like from the county level, from the municipal level, down to the town and village level. And anything that we can do at the federal level to assist those communities, we do it.
How do you feel you can contribute?
Going back to my previous comments, again, I have a very deep knowledge and experience in working with local units of government. So I know how local units of government work. I know how towns associations work. I work with Chamber of Commerce, different citizen organizations around the district. I know that there's different levels to local government. It's not just the city council, right? There's different citizen committees, different outside non-government organizations. I understand how to bring all these different aspects, all these different facets of the community together for effective local government.
How long have you been in the community?
So I have lived in Lincoln County for 27 years, my entire life. I've lived in Merrill for about 20, I would say. If you count Merrill Township, 25.
What is your relevant work or volunteer experience? I guess touch maybe on more on the volunteer since you hit the.
Yeah. So I'm actually currently on one of those citizens committees we talked about, the City Development Committee. That's kind of like that's my bread and butter. Is economic development. I love seeing the city grow. I love working with manufacturers and different organizations, different businesses, and getting their feet off the ground. Going back to the federal grants and state grants. I mean, these are the incubators for business at the local level for many people. So.
What are your current or past elected positions?
I have not held public elected office. There are different organizations that are statewide that I have leadership positions in, as well as regional ones. For example, I do chair, full disclosure, I am chairman of the Congressional District Republican Party. So that would be one elected office that I have. I also serve on a couple boards in the Wausau area that are regional based.
Why are you interested in the position at this time?
So, I actually really love Merrill. I love North Central Wisconsin. With my background, I could be in Washington D.C. I could be in Madison, working. Right? I mean, I really could be. But I love Merrill. I love what North Central Wisconsin and Merrill offer for my family. I have 3 small kids, and I want the city to continue to run. I mean, I think the city's actually run very well, and I'd like to see that continue.
What do you see as Merrill's greatest assets and biggest obstacles to overcome in order to promote future growth, further growth in the community?
So I think its greatest assets is location. Again, northern Wisconsin, you have Highway 51, Highway 29, the Wisconsin River. I mean, it is really the gateway to the Northwoods. And there are a lot of different niches that you could play off of that. It could be a tourist town. It could be a niche manufacturing town. It could work with information, technology, stuff like that. Or it could piggyback off of Wausau. And it could be an area that if you don't want to live in Wausau, you want to work in Wausau, you could still live in Merrill. I personally think that we can make Merrill a little bit more attractive to business and to startups. That's what I like to see. But I think its greatest strategic asset is by far its location. Its weakness is also kind of its location. Kids don't want to live here. They want to go to Madison. They want to go to Appleton, Milwaukee, Green Bay. We have to make it attractive for individuals to either go to school and come back or work remotely, if that's an option. You can still have those, with the way the economy and with technology is these days, you can work in Madison. You can work in Green Bay, within reason. But we got to find a way to make sure that individuals who are raised here, who we invest in, stay here. So I guess its greatest weakness is also its strength. Its greatest strength is also its weakness.
All right, thank you, Landis.
Thank you, guys.
At this time, I'll ask for everybody to fill out their ballot, and we'll have the clerk collect them. We'll
Come over here so you can witness. Since Steve voted. I have to vote. You gonna tally? Let you open up. Landis. Hunter. So, Landis, you were appointed. You're 6, and Hunter got 1.
Okay. At this time, I'll ask the committee of the whole to make a recommendation to the council.
I'll make a recommendation to appoint Landis Holdorf for District 5 Alderperson.
No, second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Landis Holdorf to the District 5 position. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So at the council meeting, that's when you'll be sworn in and everything. At this time, we'll move into closed session. The committee may convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, Section 19.85, Sub 1, Sub E, for deliberating or negotiating on the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified business, whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, to discuss potential acquisition of real estate.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Second?
I have a motion and a second to go into closed session. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Andrew Kaler,
Aye.
Mr. Michael Kaler,
Aye.
Mr. Meyer,
Aye.
Ms. Firmanek?
Aye.
Mr. Rick?
Aye.
Ms. Rakowski?
Aye.
Mayor Haas?
Aye.
All right, all 7.
And we'll make an exception for Landis to stay in on this closed session since you'll be voting on it at the next meeting, so. We're back in open session. There was a motion made. Would somebody like to read it?
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to complete the purchase of the National Guard Armory for a sum of $400,000, utilizing Bierman Family Foundation money, and retain it for the city of Merrill.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.